Will natural corks for wine bottles go the way of vinyl records? Hi, I'm Jim Gordon, editor of Wines and Vines, and we're here at Don Sebastiani & Sons Winery headquarters in Sonoma, California, to talk about closures. Not emotional closure, of course, but the various products that close wine bottles. Don & Sons uses many types of closures in their many brands, as you can see here, and they all have good reasons for being. Here's a traditional approach with a natural cork. Here's a screw cap bottle. Here's the innovative Zork closure. Today, let's focus on screw caps versus natural corks. Recent news about the effectiveness of screw caps in preserving wines as they age has brought this option to front and center in the wine industry. Hogue Cellars in Washington State recently unveiled the findings of a 5-year study that convinced the winery that screw cap worked better than natural corks. For whites, for reds, for younger wines, and older wines. Now, Plumpjack Winery in Napa Valley has been studying the same issue much longer. I participated recently on a panel of professionals who tasted the 1998 and 2001 Plumpjack Reserve red wines as part of the winery's ongoing research. Half had been aging under deluxe natural corks since they were bottled, and the other half under screw caps with Cerenex linings. Our panel, on average, couldn't tell the difference. We just couldn't tell. Plumpjack has conducted similar tastings dozens of times over the years since they first bottled the 97 Reserve with half corks and half screw caps. They continue the mixed closures today with the Reserve. The recent tasting added to the body of evidence that screw caps are fine for aging wine. Of course, everyone already knows that screw caps and other non-natural cork closures eliminate the risk of TCA cork taint. But since there was no consensus in the tasting that either closure made the wine better, it certainly didn't make natural cork look bad. In the discussion that went on before and after the tasting, I registered two things that hadn't sunk in before. One, oxygen from outside does not go through or around a natural cork, but corks are 80% air, and this trapped air does go into the wine over time. Two, no one has definite answers about what flavors natural cork itself may contribute to wine over time. Who cares about this stuff? Consumers don't care so much. Many are embracing screw caps, especially the better educated consumers. Others, often the newbie consumers, seem to prefer cork as reassuringly traditional. Those who do care and should are winemakers and marketers, trade members, sommeliers, connoisseurs, and the wine media. But what does everyone want? Here's what I think they want. They want to taste the pure fruit flavors of the grapes in a young, fresh wine. They want to taste the complexity and terroir in an aged wine. Any closure, natural cork, screw cap, synthetic cork, that can't let people taste these qualities will not make it in the long run. But let's go back to the vinyl records analogy. In the worst case scenario for natural corks, they will become like vinyl records, an outdated way to preserve an artistic product. The hisses and scratches and subtle modulations of vinyl 33 RPM recordings are still charming to some audiophiles, even 30 years after digital recordings became available. And vinyl records continue to be produced. But does anyone think they convey the musician's original performance more accurately than digital recordings? On the positive side for natural corks, research underway by the cork companies and others may eventually show that corks actually give positive flavors to wine, as oak does. Ultimately, what's important for winemakers and marketers to remember, however, is that consumers overall have open minds about the package their wine comes in. So, the focus should really be on the wine, not the package. Any closure that eliminates taint, preserves wine over time, and lets the best attributes of the grapes and the vineyard location show through will be fine with consumers.